whom the son of bright dawn had killed. Thereon he said to Menelaus, Sir, my father Nestor, when we used to talk about you at home, told me you were a person of rare and excellent understanding. If then it be possible, do as I would urge you. I am not fond of crying when I am getting my supper. Morning will come in due course, and in forenoon I care not how much I cry for those that are dead and gone. This is all we can do for the poor things. We can only shave our heads for them and wring the tears from our cheeks. I had a brother who died at Troy. He was by no means the worst man there. You are sure to have known him. His name was Antilochus. I never set eyes upon him myself, but they say that he was a singularly fleet of foot and fight and valiant. Your discretion, my friend, answered Menelaus, is beyond your years. It is plain you take after your father. One can soon see when a man is son to one whom heaven has blessed both as regards wife and offspring, and it has blessed Nestor from first to last, all his days, giving him a green old age in his own house with sons about him who are both well disposed and valiant. When we will put an end, therefore, to all his weeping, and attend to our supper again, let water be poured over our hands, Telemachus and I can talk with one another wholly in the morning. On this, Asphodelion, one of the servants poured water over their hands, and they laid their hands on the good things that were before them. Then Zeus's daughter, Helen, bethought her of another matter. She drugged the wine with a herb that banishes all care, sorrow, and ill humor. Whoever drinks wine thus drugged cannot shed a single tear all the rest of the day, not even though his father and mother, both of them, drop down dead, or he sees a brother or a son hewn in pieces before his very eyes. This drug of such a sovereign power and virtue had been given to Helen by Polydamna, wife of Thon, a woman of Egypt, where there grow all sorts of herbs, some good to put into the mixing bowl, and others poisonous. Moreover, everyone in the whole country is a skilled physician, for they are of the race of the Aeolian. When Helen had put this drug in the bowl, and had told the servants to serve them wine round, she said, Menelaus, son of Atreus, you, my good friends, sons of honorable men, which is all Zeus wills, for he is giver both of good and evil, and can do what he chooses. Feast here as you will, and listen while I tell you a tale in season. I cannot indeed name every single one of the exploits of Odysseus, but I can say that what he did when he was before Troy, and you Greeks were in all sorts of difficulties, he covered himself with wounds and bruises, dressed himself all in rags, and entered the enemy city, looking like a menial or beggar, and quite different from what he did when he was among his own people. In this disguise he entered the city of Troy, and no one said anything to him. I alone recognized him, and began to question him, that he was too cunning for me. When, however, I had washed and anointed him, and had given him clothes, after I had sworn a solemn oath not to betray him to the Trojans till he had got safely back to his own camp and to the ships, he told me of all that Eucunians meant to do. He killed many Trojans and got much information before he reached the Argive camp. For all the which things the Trojan woman made lamentation. But for my own part I was glad, for my heart was beginning to yearn after my home, and I was unhappy about the wrong that Aphrodite had done me in taking me over there, away from my country, my little girl, and my lawful wedded husband, who is indeed by no means deficient either in person or understanding. Then Menelaus said, all that you have been saying, my dear wife, is true. I have traveled much and have had much to do with heroes, but I have never seen such another man as Odysseus. What endurance, too, and what courage he displayed within the wooden horse, wherein all the bravest of the Argives are lying in wait to bring death and destruction upon the Trojans. At that moment you came up to us. Some god who wished well to the Trojans must have set you on to it, and you had Diogorbus with you. 3 times did you go all round our hiding place and panted. You called our chiefs, each by his own name, and mimicked all our wives. Diomed, Odysseus, and I from our seats inside heard what a noise you made. Diomed and I could not make up our minds whether to spring out then and there, or to answer you from inside. But Odysseus held us all in check, so we sat quite still, all except Antilochus, who was beginning to answer you, and Odysseus clapped his 2 brawny hands over his mouth and kept them there. It was that saved us all, for he muzzled Antilochus till Athena took you away again. How sad, exclaimed Telemachus, that all this was of no avail to save him, nor yet his own iron courage. But now, sir, be pleased to send us all to bed, and we may lie down and enjoy the blessed boon of sleep. On this, Helen told the maidservants to set beds in the room that was in the gatehouse, to make them with good red rugs, and spread coverlets of the top of them with woolen cloaks for the guests to wear. So the maids went out, carrying the torch, and made the beds which our manservants presently conducted the strangers. Thus then did Telemachus and Pisistratus sleep within the forecourt, while the son of Atreus lay in the inner room with a lovely Helen by his side. When the child of morning rosy-fingered dawn appeared, and Menelaus rose and dressed himself, he bound his sandals unto his comely feet, girded his sword about his shoulders, and left the room looking like an immortal god. Then taking a seat near Telemachus, he said, And what, Telemachus, has led you to take this long sea voyage to Sparta? Are you on public or private business? Tell me about it. I have come, sir, replied Telemachus, to see if you can tell me anything about my father. I am being eaten out of the house and home. My fair estate is being wasted, and my house is full of miscreants who keep killing great numbers of my sheep and oxen on the pretense of paying their addresses to my mother. Therefore I am supplement as your knees, and if happily you may tell me about my father's melancholy end, and whether you saw it with your own eyes, or heard it from some other traveller, or he was a man born to own trouble. Do not soften things out of any pity for myself, but tell me in all plainness exactly what you saw of my brave father Odysseus. Ever did you loyal service either outward or deep, when you Eucunians were harassed by the Trojans? Bear it in mind now as my favour, and tell me truly all. Menelaus, on hearing this, was very much shocked, so he exclaimed, These cowards would usurp a brave man's bed. A hen might as well lay her newborn young in the lair of a lion, than go off to feed in the forest of some grassy well. And the lion, when he comes back to his lair, will make short work of the pair of them. And so will Odysseus with the suitors, my fathers Zeus, Athena, and Apollo. Odysseus is still the man that he was when he wrestled with the Philomelides and at Lesbos, and threw him so heavily that all the Eucunians cheered him. If he is still such and were to come near these suitors, they would have a short shrift and a sorry wedding. As regards your questions, however, I am not prevaricate, nor deceive you, but will tell you without concealment all that the old man with the sea told me. I was trying to come on here, but the gods detained me in Egypt for my heptatomes, have not given them full satisfaction, and the gods are very strict about having their dues. Now off Egypt, about as far as a ship can sail in a day, with a good stiff breeze behind her, there is an island called Baros. It has a good little harbor from which vessels can get out into open sea when they have taken in water, and here the gods becalmed me 20 days without so much as a breath of fair wind to help me forward. We should have run clean after the provisions, and my men would have starved if the goddess had not taken pity upon me and saved me the person of Odyssey, daughter to Proteus, the old man of the sea. for she had taken a great fancy to me. She came to me on one day, and I was by myself, as I often was, for the men who used to go with their barbed hooks all over the island of the hope of catching a fish or two to save them from the pangs of hunger. Stranger, said she, it seems to me that you like starving in this way. At any rate, it does not greatly trouble you, for you stick here day by after day, without even trying to get away, though your men are dying by inches. Let me tell you, said I, whichever of the goddesses you may happen to be, that I am not saying here in my own accord, but must have offended the gods that lie in heaven. Tell me, therefore, for the gods know everything. Which of the mortals is it that hindering me in this way, and tell me also how I may sail the sea so as to reach my home. Stranger, replied she, I will make it all quite clear to you. There is an old immortal who lives under the sea hereabouts, and whose name is Proteus. He is an Egyptian, and people say he is my father. He is Poseidon's headman and knows every inch of ground all over the bottom of the sea. If you can snare him and hold him right, he will tell you about your voyage, what courses you are to take, about how you are to sail the sea so as to reach your home. He will also tell you, if you will, all that you have been going on in your house, both good and bad, while you have been away on your long and dangerous journey. Can you show me, said I, some stratagem by means of which I may catch this hold of God without his suspecting it and finding me out? For a god is not easily caught, not by a mortal man. Stranger, said she, I will make it all quite clear to you. About the time when the sun shall have risen in heaven, the whole man of the sea comes up from under the waves, heralded by the west wind that prefers the water over his head. As soon as he has come, he lies down and goes to sleep in a great sea cave, where the seals, hallucinating chickens as they call them, come up also from the great sea and go to sleep in the shoals all around him, and in very strong fish-like smell do they bring with them early. Tomorrow morning I will take you to this place, and you will lay in ambush. Pick out therefore the 3 best men you have in your fleet, and I will tell them you all the tricks of that old man who will play you.